Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're talking Paula's Choice. Now, Paula's Choice is one of the best-selling skincare brands and used to be affectionately known as the skincare cop for its no BS approach to marketing, putting science before dodgy marketing claims, which really earned itself a cult following. For years, the Paulas Choice brand has grown and grown and grown on the back of some real viral skincare products, such as their skin perfecting liquid exfoliant. However, in the last 12 months, things have really taken a turn, and not to Paulas Choice advantage. Their sales have started to slide, they've had a few dramas and scandals, and people have started to say, is this the brand that it used to be, say, 10 years ago? Are they really the good guys in skincare anymore? And that's led to a little bit of a backlash. So we're going to discuss it all in today's video. Sit back, relax, let's start the downfall of Paula's Choice. Now, before we get into today's video, I always like to say, when it comes to skincare, use what works for you. We will always have our different likes, dislikes, and different perspectives on things. I'm covering this topic today because I'm a skincare nerd. I love to do deep dives into the skincare industry, some of the things that are going on, but all of this is just designed to help you guys make the right decisions when it comes to your own skin's needs. There is no right or wrong, and just know that we're covering this topic for fun, and I want to hear your own views when it comes to Paula's Choice. Are you a huge fan of the brand? If you are, reach down and leave the heart emoji in the comments section alongside any of your personal recommendations from the brand. If you're someone that doesn't like or use Paula's Choice, leave the cross emoji and again, state why. I just want to get the conversation going, and the best place to do that is down in the comments section below. The reason I'm able to cover topics like this is because I'm an independent and sponsorship-free content creator. I don't take any coin from any brands out there, so I can cover things freely in what I hope is an entirely unbiased way. If you want to support me as an independent content creator, the best way of doing that is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So from the bottom of my heart, love to each and every one of you. I really do appreciate it so much. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So, Paula's Choice, a brand which has been around for decades. They were started by Paula herself, very much as a small indie startup, and they've grown and grown and grown. Now, Paula is no longer the owner of the brand. It actually forms part of the Unilever family of brands, meaning it's a truly international, multinational brand, and I think just about everyone on skincare planet Earth has heard of Paula's Choice. They started out really as what often people term the good guys in skincare. People used to refer to Paula herself as like the skincare cop, someone that cut behind all of the BS that was going on from some of the big brands and just took a science-focused approach. People really honestly respected that because knowing exactly what we're putting on our skin and having that removal of that bias from the skincare industry that some of the big brands at the time were driving was like a breath of fresh air. This is an ethos that really followed through for the first, pretty much all of the skincare brand's life until it was bought by Unilever. As with a lot of things, when a big brand takes over another smaller brand, things will inevitably change. And I think this is where a lot of the issues started and where the hardcore fans of Paula's Choice, the OG crew, started to say, maybe this isn't the same brand that we first bought into. Originally, Paula's Choice was all about the science-backed formulations. If the science didn't prove something worked, they weren't interested in that ingredient. And they really took away some of the marketing hype that went around products and just said, let word of mouth speak for itself. Let our products deliver and people fangirl about them to their friends, family, and online, and let's grow from there. And they had a lot of success in doing so. However, in the last 12 months, there started to be something of an emerging backlash where people are starting to say, okay, maybe enough is enough. The Paula's Choice of today is so far removed of the Paula's Choice that we used to love. Do we really want to spend our hard-earned coin on it anymore? And that's going to really be the focus of today's video. As I said with everything, it's subjective, so one person's opinion might differ to another, and these are just my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, but we're going to take a deep dive into kind of where it started to go wrong with Paula's Choice. So as I said, they were bought out by Unilever, and Paula herself was actually still retained within the brand as a bit of a consultant. She was also the face of the brand, so they paid her to appear in marketing campaigns, online videos, demos, and tutorials to this is something that brands will often do. When they buy out a founder, they'll kind of keep them on board so that consumers don't really notice too much change. Now, in 2024, Paula very much has taken a backseat and is no longer involved in the day-to-day running decisions or is even the face of the brand anymore. And that's something I think allowed Unilever to really change tack a lot on what the brand is offering. So let's start with what I think is the biggest issue and has caused the biggest backlash, and that is what Paula's Choice have termed ditch the prescription. So they launched a new product, new retinoid-based product, which has retinal and also has a derivative form of adapalene, another retinoid within it. And their tagline in launching this product was "ditch the prescription," saying you don't need that medical intervention, you don't need to keep cashing that prescription. You can just reach for our over-the-counter option, and it's going to give you the same results. This is when I think a lot of people said, no, this is not what Paula would have done. Somebody that prided herself on being like the skincare cop, ditching the marketing hype and really being led by science, would never allow her products to be compared to a prescription strength option in the way that Unilever were clearly trying to drive forward. This created a huge online backlash with people saying, actually, is this even legal? Can brands actually make these claims? And I think whilst legislation will differ country to country, they're very much skating on thin ice, being able to say, ditch your prescription, our products have got you covered. The reason they felt able to say this is this new product, which I've left an image of on the screen, actually contained a derivative form of adapalene, which is a prescription strength retinoid designed to minimize breakouts, acne, and could also have some anti-aging benefits too. Adapalene itself has been deregulated in a lot of markets. You can now get it over the counter, but formerly it was prescription strength. Well, this is where I think that really starts to get shady. So first and foremost, this isn't adapalene in this product. It's a derivative form, very different. May still give some great results, but very different to the tried, tested, and rigorously studied adapalene, which it's kind of piggybacking off to say it's going to give the same results. It won't. Also, what I think they fail to realize is when you have a prescription, something dispensed on prescription, it's involved an interaction with a medical professional. It could be face-to-face, over the phone, it could be on Zoom, Teams, or whatever, but you've had that interaction with a medical professional that's deemed that that product is suitable for your individual skin's needs. You don't get that over the counter. And so even if something has a very like-for-like composition as to a prescription option, it's not the same. And I would just say, let's just put it out there. If you're on prescription for anything, don't stop that because some brand tells you to. Only stop something in agreement with the original prescriber or another medical professional that can deem that an appropriate course of action. Not because Paula's Choice tell you to do it on Facebook. So I think for this, the backlash genuinely legitimate. And I'm sure that Paula was cringing when she saw this. Thought, this isn't the sort of marketing that I will put my name to. Shady, shady, shady. Kind of from that, I think the backlash spiraled. People started saying, well, if they've kind of turned so much on this style of approach, what else are they doing wrong? And then they started to do a bit of deep diving and realized things started to change quite a while ago. So Paula had a set of core principles. She said that products should deliver and be value for money. She never advocated the use of an eye cream, for example, saying eye creams, they're not necessary. You can get the same benefits from your moisturizer that you're already using on the rest of your face. True, in a lot of instances. Personally, I like an eye cream, but that was very much the core Paula's Choice philosophy. They never had an eye cream in their collection. Well, Unilever took over and said, eye creams sell, they're popular, let's throw one in. And unfortunately, the Paula's Choice eye cream actually is garbage. So it wasn't even a good, well-formulated eye cream that they could say, yeah, this is more than a moisturizer. It really was just a moisturizer. And again, people noticed that and said, this isn't the same brand we were buying into. And then the price gouging happened. Paula's Choice have always existed off the back of a couple of viral products, such as their skin perfecting liquid exfoliant and some other products that just ballooned in popularity and gave the brand almost like a holy grail coveted status. As a result, Unilever thought, well, we can make some money on this, and they put the price up, and up. And Paula's Choice went from being like a mid-market priced brand to one that's definitely in, almost bordering on the luxury end of the price scale, which again has put a lot of the OG cult following off. They're thinking, well, why am I now paying 3 times the price as what I was 5 years ago for essentially the same product? I was using it, I was believing in the brand, and now I almost feel priced out. And in a lot of cases, people are. Budgets are tight. Paula's Choice are maxing out that amount that they're charging. And this again is saying, I don't think the formulations actually stack up to what the brand are trying to charge. And then finally, people started to say, are they even following the science anymore? And this is something that's really exploded in 2024. People saying, I don't think Paula's Choice are a science-backed brand. They first started out by saying that their liquid exfoliator was as gentle as water. You don't need to be a scientist to know that an salicylic acid based exfoliator is not going to be as gentle as water. It's just not. And again, no science, I've yet to see a science paper that says that that's the case. They were actually encouraging people to use their liquid exfoliant daily, which I think we've all realised is just going to be over exfoliation. You don't need it. Again, not leading by science-based approach, but just trying to get people to use as much products as possible so they repurchase in the shortest possible time. Not great. And then they have the 20% niacinamide. Another great example of every study into niacinamide shows that with a few exceptions, where some people, a very niche subset of people, could benefit from a higher dose, most people will get maximum results, minimum side effects at around the 2 to 5% strength. So why do Paulas Choice have a 20% niacinamide? For the tiny cohort of people that might actually be appropriate and beneficial for, there's a whole host of people out there using it, believing the stronger is better, and actually suffering and experiencing a lot of side effects as a result. Not science-backed, not appropriate for the mass market, and certainly not something that Paula herself would ever have endorsed. This, I think, has all culminated in where we are today. Declining sales, people calling them out online, and I really struggle to see how Unilever are going to kind of come back from this. A lot of people won't care about the issues we talked about in today's video. Maybe they weren't around in the original days of Paula's Choice. They didn't know where the founders stood, where things were. They've come to the products later on where maybe they haven't noticed the price hikes as much. Maybe they don't mind some of the slightly dubious marketing that goes around it. However, the OG crowd seem to be turning their back, and this is really dangerous for a brand. Every brand wants to attract in new consumers, new advocates for their range. However, you never want to do that at the expense of your hardcore following, because when those people go that have been buying every year, year in, year out, when they disappear, you never get that amount of loyalty back, and new consumers will never be as loyal as your original ones. And I think Unilever, they're taking a big gamble on hopefully driving forward sales with new customers and saying, we don't care about the original crowd anymore. Those, they're not paying our bills. We don't care about them anymore. We need new experiences, we need new people to come in and buy our products. They're driving that forward. And that to me doesn't seem like a smart business decision. You always have to attract new consumers, but that should never be at the expense of your loyal following that have been with you, in the case of Paulas Choice, and some people for decades. And I think that, in summary, is kind of responsible for the downfall, or the early start to the downfall of Paulas Choice. Can this be recovered? Absolutely, but I think Unilever have created a big problem for themselves, and they're going to have to do a lot of unpicking to kind of get back to where they were, say, 24 months ago. What do you guys think? Paulas Choice, still an amazing set of formulations and products, or overhyped and now just the same as every other brand out there, over-promising, under-delivering, and overcharging for their products? Where do you guys sit? For me, I always thought Paulas Choice had some good products, and honestly, they still do. But I don't like the price point that they're trying to charge. I don't think it's worth the formulations that they're delivering. And certainly when it's 3 times the price it was 2 or 3 years ago, seems very price gougy and unrealistic. I never, ever, ever want to hear the words ditch the prescription from an over-the-counter brand. They're not in a position to make a statement like that, and I think it's very irresponsible for them to do so. And so yeah, for me, Paulas Choice, bit of a pass. However, I would love to hear your own thoughts, feelings, and opinions when it comes to this, so sound off in the comment section below. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, I love your skin. Take care. Bye.